Interview day quick tips. We just discussed the things you should do the day before your interview. Now let's talk about what to do on the actual interview day. Here are the learning outcomes for this video. By the end of the video, you should 1. Know 9 tips for success on interview day, and 2. Understand the timing of when these tips should be used. Let's get started. First, make sure you dress appropriately, which most of the time means that you should wear professional attire. A good rule here is to try to dress one level above your interviewers. For example, if you expect your interviewers might be wearing dress shirts and jackets, then you could wear a suit and tie. Second, be early to your interview. Ideally, you'll be outside the interview room 15 minutes before it starts. There can be a lot of variables that factor into arriving early, so try to eliminate as many as possible beforehand. For example, try to drive to the interview location the day before to scout it out. Third, make sure to greet everyone as you enter the interview room. When the interviewers introduce themselves, write their names down. During the interview, try to refer to each interviewer by name, as this can help make you stand out. And don't be afraid to ask someone to repeat their name in case you missed it, but only try to ask one time. A tip here, if your interviewers hand you their business cards, then place the cards in front of you in the order the interviewers are sitting to help you quickly refer to them by name. Fourth, act professionally during the interview. A few examples here. Your body posture should be good, meaning you shouldn't be slouching or leaning on the table. You should make eye contact while communicating. You should avoid interrupting the interviewers while they're talking to you. And you should avoid being condescending or judgmental. Fifth, show interest in the job. You might not think that this will be an issue for you, but hear me out. Because the interview process is stressful and time-consuming, it's not uncommon to seem tired, nervous, or apathetic to the interviewers. So just make a mental note to show interest throughout the interview by maintaining good posture, nodding, and smiling. 6. Try not to stress too much over atypical interview questions. Usually the point of asking these questions is to hear you talk through your thought process. For example, I was once asked in an interview how many beers are consumed in England in the 5 minutes after the English national soccer team scores a goal. Obviously, I had no idea, but I gave the interviewers a rough idea of how I would go about answering the question. I then ended my response with, in a work setting, I would research something I didn't know before giving an answer. That was it. 7th, ask your interviewers questions. This is such an important tip that we'll talk about it more in the next video. 8th, deflect compensation questions. If you're asked about your target compensation, you can deflect by saying, I appreciate the question, but it's important for me to look at compensation together with benefits after I've received an offer. If you're pressed for an answer after deflecting, then you should have an idea of what compensation range you're targeting. We'll talk more about compensation in later videos. 9th, ask your interviewers what the next steps in the process are and thank them. For next steps, ask when a hiring decision will be made and when that decision will be communicated to you. Then reiterate why you're interested in the job and why you would be a good fit. End by thanking the interviewers for their consideration. That's the end of this foundational video, but just a reminder that this video is part of a longer playlist. The playlist is in chronological order, meaning videos at the beginning of the playlist cover things that occur at the beginning of a job search and vice versa. If you liked this video, then you should check out the other videos in the playlist. If you thought this video was confusing, then try going backwards in the playlist to learn more about job search up until this point, or even forwards in the playlist to see how things come together. Thanks.